Coach, sorry, over here. Damian Lillard also out tonight, Jeremy Grant. I know it probably doesn't change things schematically for you guys, but the way that they've had the past 24 hours of just getting here today, do you think that changes their mentality or how they're going to come out tonight?
No, you know, in this league, it's a league just like in life. It's a life we live in, an opportunity, and if you have any type of competitiveness inside of you, when you get an opportunity, you don't let it shine. You don't go for it. So it doesn't matter who's playing for them. Whoever is the next man up for them, I'm sure is going to play their tails off and give us fits. So we just got to go play how we're capable of and use the energy of the home crowd and try to get a win.
Hey Mike, you know, since you've been here, there's been a lot of emphasis on defense, even the last couple of days talking to the guys. With the last final stretch towards the end of the season, as you guys are making a push to the playoffs, how do you get the guys to kind of lock in, you know, all 4 quarters? In the 4th quarter, guys look tremendous, top 5 in defense. But how do you mentally get the guys, you know, locked in for all 4 quarters?
Keep trying to do what we're doing. You got to preach it. You got to go over what you need to go over in practice. You got to show film. You know, there's no magic dust, you know, that's going to say, hey, you lock in for all 4 quarters now. That makes it happen. And eventually, I think when it does happen, we'll have a chance to be good. But if I knew that answer, we wouldn't be sitting where we are right now defensively. I'll tell you that much.
Coach Brown, what's your comfortability as far as your backup centers? I know you got Matu and, you know, Trey been playing the 5 recently in the game. Just, you know, with these last 25 games, how do you feel, you know, about them and their work, you know, ahead of them?
It's great. You know, we feel like we have, you know, 3 or 4 different options we can go to. It's just a matter of us, you know, picking one for that night, and hopefully that one is producing, and if not, we'll go on to the next guy. And usually when that's been the case, we've found somebody that can be really good for us for, you know, extended periods of games. And it's no different than what a lot of teams do. Shoot, when I was in Golden State one year, we had David West, Zaja Pachulia, JaVale McKee, and Kevon Looney, and they all just played center and along with Draymond, and just played whoever was playing the best or whoever we felt was the best matchup for whoever was on the floor, and rolled with it until they weren't getting it done, and then we went to somebody else. So it's kind of the same thing. You just try to get a feel for who's playing well, and you roll him out there, and if he's playing well, he stays. If not, then you got to think about making an adjustment.
Coach, back to the Portland delay, just curious, throughout your career, have you ever experienced something like that where it took 2 days to get there? And how would you keep your team ready and mentally focused on the task ahead?
Yeah, I've flown in on a day of a game before. You know, I mean, I'm sure everybody in the league that's been in for 3, 4, 5 years or more have experienced that at one point or another. And you know, you got to go play the game. That's what you get paid to do, and so you prepare as best you can. You know, when you get here, you go to a hotel, you check in, and you probably have a quick team meeting, and then you come over to the gym and you kind of try to go through your process as best you can. You go out and you play. It's kind of what we get paid to do, and you can't expect anything less from your guys, you know, because you want them to understand no matter who's in uniform. And when you get there, our goal is to try to win. And but at the end of the day, you know, it obviously can be tough to deal with. You know.
Mike, you guys have been kind of hovering back to the defensive stuff. Like, I think you're 22nd in defensive rating right now. You've been a little lower than that at times. But in January, you guys were 16th in defensive rating. Is that just kind of a quirky numbers thing, or did you feel like during that stretch there was something you guys were doing differently or better defensively?
No, it's, you know, and I say this because we're more than capable of being a better defensive team than where we're sitting or what the numbers are showing. That's probably a better way to say it. And you know, we just have to figure out a way to somehow be consistent with it. And that's the hardest part, you know, when you're at a pretty high level where we are, and now you can be consistent with everything you do, you're going to have a chance to sustain it and get to the next level. And so our schemes haven't changed, you know, and for the most part, we're still kind of playing the same guys. I think our start lineup hadn't changed, and now guys' minutes may be a little different coming off the bench, you know, than now than what they were, I guess, back in January. But everything has been pretty much the same. And like I said, it's just a matter of us trying to get, you know, 8, 9, 10 guys on the floor that are going to consistently do their jobs at a high level while sticking their nose in to whatever they need to be and get physical with it.
So a question about the players, but your coaches. Jordy Fernandez's name came up in the Hawks head coach search, and yesterday he talked about his readiness for the job. And I know that Lindsey Harding is someone who's spoken also about her aspirations to be a head coach someday. Can you tell me about, I guess, her impact on this team and the skills and skills and things about her that would make her good at that job when she gets to that point in her career?
Yeah, I mean, they're both, you know, Jordy obviously has been in a higher position than Lindsey has, and he's also been a head coach in the G League before. So, you know, you'd think that Jordy was probably a little bit more ready than Lindsey at this point. But Lindsey's skill set is, you know, it's second to none. Her ability to communicate with the players is off the charts. She's not afraid. She works hard. She knows what she's talking about. She can demonstrate what she's talking about because she played at a high level. So I'm sure that someday she's going to have an opportunity to be a head coach in this league or whatever league she chooses to be a head coach in, because she's really, really, really good.
Yeah, Coach, you've talked to us about trying to get Keegan to find more ways to consistently impact the game outside of shooting. When it comes to Kevin, what ways do you feel like he successfully makes an impact outside of shooting?
You know, I've said this before, but his medium game, his little pull-up game is a lot better than what I thought. He cuts well. He's able to finish around the hoop better than what I thought too. And then he's a capable rebounder, and that's something that I've challenged him on throughout the year. You know, if your shot's not going in, what else can you do to help the team win? And at his size and his ability, nose or feel for the game, his nose for the ball, he's more than capable of getting, you know, 5, 6, 7 rebounds in games, and so he's going to have to do that. And then defensively, he's smart. You know, he knows where he needs to be, and now it's just a matter of him being in those spots with a certain amount of physicality without fouling. And if he can accomplish those things, then, you know, the shooting is great, because everybody, even if he's not making shots, people are going to respect him because he's out there, so he's going to create space. But we need him to continue to find other ways at a higher level to impact the game. And those are some of the ways.
Hey, Mike, what's going on? Portland at times has shown a proclivity to go zone on ATOs, and even after one pass, the first pass is made at the offensive end. What do you do when they do that to prevent the offense from stalling out?
The biggest thing, Mark, is you just run your play. So if there's an action already called, don't try to switch to a zone, because if you try to switch to a zone play, by the time you get everybody on board, you've wasted 5 to 6 seconds, if not more. And the reality of it is, because of how good players are, everybody's zone sucks in the NBA. And what they try to do is to try to get you to think, oh my gosh, we got to do something different. And taking that time off the shot clock can be really impactful. And so I just tell our guy, hey, run the play, look to drive the gaps, look to flash to the middle of the floor throughout the course of the play, and if you're open, shoot it, let it fly. And most times that works. Now there are times when you may have an off night shooting the basketball, but you're going to get some good looks versus zone. That's why we don't play zone, because our zone sucks too. Our band sucks too.
Flavor Flav says he got a fix for you though, man.
Huh?
Flavor Flav said he had a fix for you though.
Hey, I tell you, that's my man. I like Flavor.